Welcome everybody. It's time to go wild. Welcome to the Time to Go Wild radio show on Halton Community Radio 92.3 FM and live across the world on hcr923fm.com/listen, tune in and smart speakers. If you want to contact the show, you can do so. Facebook or twitter.com/TTGW radio. We have email radio@widneswild.co.uk and the telephone 01928 835 291, or you can text 60066. Start your message with HCR and your text to charge at your standard network rate. It's that time of the week again. Let's do it. Everything ice hockey. It's time to go wild. A very good evening, everybody. And breathe after a very, very busy and weekend of ice hockey across the UK, particularly for the YKK Widnes Wild. And with me tonight here in the studio is Andy Shutt.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Colin. How are you all doing? Minded out to grind out a good win there, didn't we?
Well, yeah, but definitely mixed weekend for the YKK Widnes Wild. But we also had some of our other junior teams in action. So I suppose we do the usual bit.
Scores.
And get it going. Time for your weekly roundup of scores from the leagues we cover each week. Starting with elite league action from the Challenge Cup on Wednesday. Sheffield Steelers 4, Glasgow Clan 0, Nottingham Panthers 3, Cardiff Devils 4. League action on Saturday. Belfast Giants 1, Cardiff Devils 0, Sheffield Steelers 1, Nottingham Panthers 5, Manchester Storm 1, Guildford Flames 2 after overtime, Glasgow Clan 2, Dundee Stars 3 after a shootout, Fife Flyers 2, Coventry Blaze 5. On Sunday, Nottingham Panthers 2, Fife Flyers 0, Belfast Giants 0, Cardiff Devils 1. Coventry Blaze 4, Manchester Storm 0, Guildford Flames 6, Sheffield Steelers 5. EIHA Under-18s North 2 action from Saturday. Solihull 5, Widnes 10. On Sunday, Sheffield 9, Widnes 1. EIHA Under-13s North 3 action from Saturday. Widnes 6, Blackburn 2. On Sunday, Manchester 4, Billingham 3. EIHA Under-11s North 3 action on Saturday. Widnes 1, Whitley Bay 9. On Sunday, Whitley Bay 4, Kingston 0. NIHL National League action from Friday. Leeds Chiefs 1, Sheffield Steel Dogs 4. On Saturday, Swindon Wildcats 4, Bracknell Bees 6, Basingstoke Bison 4, Raiders 3 after overtime, Milton Keynes Lightning 2, Telford Tigers 5. On Sunday, Bracknell Bees 4, Basingstoke Bison 7, Peterborough Phantoms 7, Swindon Wildcats 6. Hull Pirates 4, Milton Keynes Lightning 3, Telford Tigers 2, Sheffield Steel Dogs 4. NIHL Division 1 North Morley action from Saturday. Solway Sharks 3, Whitley Warriors 8, Sutton Sting 8, Solihull Barons 6. On Sunday, Whitley Warriors 6, Solway Sharks 1. Blackburn Hawks D1 7, Nottingham Lions 4, Solihull Barons 8, Billingham Stars 2. NIHL Division 2 North Laidler action from Saturday. Bradford Bulldogs 8. Blackburn Hawks D2 1. Hull Jets 12. Widnes Wild 0. On Sunday, Sheffield Senators 3. Altrincham Aces 15. And Widnes Wild 5. Dragons 4. Come back next week for more. And after the game on Sunday, I caught up with a few players to get their thoughts on the weekend. A weekend of two halves for the YKK Widnes Wild after a rather unusual night of performance in Hull. We've been back in action again on the Sunday against the Dragons from D-side. I've been joined by three. We'll start off with the man with the big A, the Sheriff, Lee Kemp. Thanks, Mikey Gilbert. First of all, your thoughts on last night, Lee?
It's one of those where you don't know where to start. I just don't think we ever turned up from start to finish. And then Hull just came out from the off. They're a good team this year anyway. They've added a new few players. They worked the puck well, took the chances. I think they outshot us 2, maybe 3-1. We just never got out of neutral, really. I think we only had like 20 shots. So yeah, it was poor performance yesterday. We take it all upon ourselves, and we obviously came back today with the W.
And a man of mischief finally returned from injury, got his bionic leg back to normal. Mikey Gilbert. Mikey, good to be back on the ice at last.
Yeah, finally, good to be back on the ice with all the boys. Not the score we wanted yesterday, but we bounced back today. Everyone played really well today. Well, let's just forget about yesterday and we'll move forward.
And I've been joined by our latest recruit. Hopefully I pronounced his surname right, Dan Haid.
I don't know. Haid, Hyde, I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided yet. You might do that for me if you want to.
So first off, welcome to the Wild. Rather than we'll focus on last night, how do you think you've been fitting in with the guys here?
It's a great group. Usually I take some time until I feel comfortable in a new group of people. But these guys made it so easy to fit in. It's just fun in the changing room. It's fun and hard work out on the ice. I'm having a great time.
I mean, I've got to ask quickly just a few of your thoughts on last night. Tricky game, I suppose. As the other guys have said, just didn't get out of first gear. Well, didn't even get into first gear, maybe.
That's, maybe what it was. I mean, I think we had I went in the game and felt good. I had a good attitude, but I think everyone wanted to put all the effort and hard work in, but we didn't really find a way to put that hard work in, so they just played faster and harder than we did, and that sort of cost us the game, I think.
We'll get them next time.
Well, I mean, we've got still 3 more games to play against them, and of course we've had a game postponed from before Christmas, so at least in a way it's a road game out the way. Next time, at least everyone's got an idea of the way they play, and they've really improved a lot over the last few years of Hull, and are looking strong at the top of the table. But we'll stick with Dan. Tonight, completely different feel for the game. The derby against D-side. I think your first game against D-side. Yeah. So a feisty game as usual.
I was warned it's a derby or derby. Don't know how you pronounce that. I think it was a good and hard game. It was a bit dirty from both sides, but that's normal. Okay, I guess shut up. It wasn't the most beautiful piece of hockey I ever played, but it was hard work from everyone, and that paid off.
A nice little pretty highlight reel goal in a manner of speaking, with you sort of losing a bit of balance, but it's nice to have those from time to time.
I really have to see that on video first, because I just realized I was falling and all I focused on was getting the puck on net. That's all I can tell you.
So, well, in the end, it went in the right place, and it'll look good on the video.
That's more or less what I got from everyone else's reaction, because I was lying on my back. So, yeah, it went in somehow.
So we'll come to Mikey, Mr. Mischief.
Wow.
Your thoughts again tonight? Completely different feel from last night, I suppose.
Yeah, it was a more physical game, as we were expecting, but we needed to make a reaction today, and I think everyone on the team did. Lots and lots of effort by everyone, more shots, which is a lot better.
I mean, it was lively, good seeing you not looking as though you were out of place and the knee was holding up well.
Yeah, it was good to get back in, like I said before. Today, I thought we started well. I thought my knee held up as well, which is really good.
I'll come back to you in a minute because I've got a few questions about our juniors because they've had a busy weekend. But last few words from the big sheriff. Took a bit of a knock, but came back not looking too out of place.
Yeah, I don't know what I did. I just got caught up with snip in front, and something just felt like it popped, but went off, stretched it out, and came back, and yeah, carried on as normal because I think we got everyone involved today. Strong team, so we needed everyone there to get the job done.
I mean, unusually there was only a little bit of rough play, no major fights or anything. It was actually, in a manner of speaking, a fairly clean game from that side of things.
Yeah, well, I think obviously D-side are all mouth. They like to give it the big one, but don't step up. So, but little chippy penalties from either side, I believe. And then obviously at the end, yet again, they've lost the game. They try and, ignite something, and I just don't get them. You accept a loss, and that's it. You get off the ice. But, obviously we've still got one more time, I believe, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2-1 in the series now, but at least sort of put to bed that home defeat we had a little bit earlier on in the season. We've had the away win, a home win, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, the home loss that we took, that was a hard one to take because we absolutely dominated them. And I felt like we came away from that not actually accepting a 4-2. We put it right, like you said, when the away won with a 9-1 win, and we've shown it again today with a hard 5-4. So, I don't think they're a strong team. I think we dominate them every time. And yeah, we play them again whenever it is, and we'll go again. We'll get another 2 points, and we'll outstretch the lead and make playoffs.
Well, before we finish, just got a few words from Mikey on his thoughts on the juniors, because they've had a very, very busy weekend. We've had under-11s in action last night, with the under-13s in action last night, and the under-18s were in action last night and tonight. Bit of a mixed weekend. I mean, first off, your thoughts on how our under-11s are developing?
They're doing a lot better. It's experience. The more games you play, the positioning gets better, the results start getting better, and it's the first season in the under-11s, and I think they have been improving throughout the season. I think they lost. Did they play here?
Yeah, it was last night.
Yeah, they played here. They lost, but I've heard that they played a lot better, and the positioning is getting a hell of a lot better.
Well, I was actually here for the game, and quite rightly so, the position is better. But just to clarify for our listeners, the under-11s play a special set of rules where the lines are fixed. So you can't technically switch players around on lines to sort of strengthen and move players around. So as the play progresses, the opposition lines can technically be stronger than yours respective lines. So it is very tricky at times, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got to be in set lines. So you start, you set them up in colours. Your better players are red normally, then your secondary better players are blue, then yellow. So it's against, so that each team are playing against like the same level of players. But as they get through the game, they get more tired. So the other teams can start getting a few more goals in because they're not used to playing longer stretches of games.
And of course, the experience. I mean, we were playing Whitley Bay again, very experienced. A lot of their kids have, had a lot more time to come through the ranks.
Yeah. It's all about experience and ice time, really. Whitley Bay, they've been around for a while. We're obviously a new team. This is the first time the 11s have been in the league, so they're doing themselves proud.
And they did. They absolutely did themselves proud. And then, of course, some of our under-11s were playing up for the under-13s, who had an absolute storming game.
Yeah, the 13s won. What score was it?
Can't remember now. I was here for the game. I can't remember, but it was a really, really good game against Blackburn. Dominated the game, took the lead, stretched the lead in the end. But again, a team that started off last year struggling to get a win, and then took a couple of good wins towards the end. But this year, been a lot stronger.
Yeah, 13s are a hell of a lot stronger this year. We're fighting at the top of the table. It's the second season in the league, and it's showing throughout the experience of the players, how the players are playing, how they're playing together. The scores are getting better. We're conceding less. We're fighting at the top, which is really good.
And the big one, I suppose as more immediate potential future players to come through the ranks is the under-18s. Last week, a win here. Saturday night, a big win away at a very strong team against Solihull. Tonight, not so lucky in Sheffield, but much promise from the under-18s, who again are a new team.
Yeah, the 18s are a new team, first time in the league. It's taken them first half of the season to get into it, get into a rhythm, play with lines, get used to playing full games, full contact, and now the results are getting better and better. Last week they won. Yesterday they won away against Solihull, we were lost against earlier in the season. And we had Sheffield away today. They did lose, but Sheffield are fighting it out right at the top. They've been around for a while. So yeah, the scores are getting better. We're winning games, which is really good. Players are pulling performances as well.
I mean, the experience shows. I mean, across the team, the improvements have been massive. I mean, we've got experienced players in Katie Fairclough and Sam Anderson as particular, and Jake Lounders in goal. But other players have really progressed, massively within the team as I've been watching them this year.
Yeah, the newer players are bringing it back up. The players that moved up from 15s last year, big step up into 18s, seeing as it's a 3-year age group, and they're stepping up a hell of a lot better. They're getting into the game more, they're getting more points, defending well, attacking well. So yeah, the experience is doing them well.
And from time to time, some of our under 15s, I should say, under 15s step up into the ranks as well.
Yeah, the 15s, when they step up, they're playing well. I think we had 2 playing up this week, and they're getting stuck in, putting up some points too, which is really good.
I mean, it's a busy, close part of the season. So, I mean, for yourself, while you've been out with injury, I mean, it's not as though you've not been kept busy.
Yeah, even though I've not been playing, I've been coaching all the teams, so I've been able to make a few more junior games, whereas now I'm back playing, so I might not be able to make as many, but I've got other coaches for that, and they're doing a really good job.
So just while you've still got you to hand, your final thoughts on tonight and moving forward?
Yeah, tonight's a good stepping stone. I thought we had a big reaction from all the players. A lot more intensity, a lot more skating, a lot more fight, physicalness, more shots, defensive was really good. So let's move on from here.
Well, nice to see you back fully fit. Catch you soon and take care.
Cheers, Colin.
Well, there we go. The thoughts of last night. And, Andy...
3 talkers there, weren't there?
Yeah. Had to keep them talking. I have to get my money's worth out of them,
Well, why not, yeah.
Especially Mikey. I mean, we've got to big up our kids, and the juniors have been doing a fantastic job this year. I mean, across all levels, massive improvements.
Massive improvement from last year. Last year we were like whipping boys, weren't we? And now we're sort of getting revenge.
I mean, the 13s and the 15s last year in this second half of the season, started pulling out a few wins. Mm-hmm. And this year, the 13s and 15s have just gone from strength to strength. The 18s this year, 3 wins this year. And then everyone could have said, they're going to be sat at the bottom of the under-18s North 2 table, when actually they're not.
No.
14. They've played 14 games, 3 wins, 2 draws.
It's not bad.
So, for a brand new team this year, 3 wins and 2 draws. And underneath there's Sutton and D-side.
You think Sutton's got a good setup as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
Well, they should have.
So when you're playing, you've got Sheffield, Nottingham, Manchester, Solihull, who they beat at the week. Well, didn't beat. They really took to task. Yeah. They've got a very good team of Solihull. And then it's Widnes, Sutton in 6th and D-side in 7th. But, the game against... here we go. Against Solihull was still a lively affair. There was a little bit of coming together from time to time. But the goal scoring, again, very, very spread out. For Solihull, you had Harrison Sumner 1+1, Connor Wheeldon 1+1, Thomas Good 0+1, William. I'm not going to even try and pronounce your name, sir. I don't want to insult you in any way, but they're number 49. He got 2+0. Aaron Bonsall 0+1, and Tom Clark 1+1. But when you look at the wild stats, Luke Malarkey 1+0, David Gerrard 0+1. Jack Davis 0+1, James Perkins 0+2. This next lad has really, really come into his own in the last couple of games. That's Tristan Grimshaw, 5+2.
That's not bad, is it?
he's had his last 2 games, the last home game and this one, he's had an absolute storm of fantastic performance from Tristan. 5+2,
And he got 2 Tims as well. 2 Pims, didn't
2
he?
Pims as well.
Yeah, got 2 Pims as well. Full house.
Cameron Williams 0+2 and Sam Anderson 4+4.
Yes, well done, Sam.
You know, everybody's been putting in a shift. And and they're even looking after each other. You know, it's a lively affair. We won't go through the penalty minutes. If you want to, it's just look up fixtures live or go through the IHA website. But sadly for the under-18, Sunday didn't quite go to plan. But when you're playing the top of the table team in Sheffield,
well established as well.
Very, very well established. The goal was from Sam, assisted Luke Malarkey and James Perkins, but the Sheffield scoring, sadly too short-handed. How does that work? 55-50 and 55-50. Something weird going on there. How's that?
I don't know, you're moving the screen around too fast.
There's something weird going on with this online game sheet because we've got 2 goals at 38-47 and 2 games at 55-50. Very bizarre. Must be something strange on the data input on Fixtures Live, that.
Yeah, they've got different numbers as well, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got the different scores. It must just be the time entries.
The assist.
Yeah, so, I was just sort of looking, thinking, Sometimes Fixtures Live does go a wee bit weird. But
not with Jill Gillingham, it doesn't.
But, everyone's trying hard, and especially at playing 2 road games at distance. It's not like they've played a D-side and an Altrincham, or maybe a Altrincham and a Blackburn, and you've gone down to Sheffield, and you've gone all the way down to Solihull as well.
Yeah. And that's what I say about travelling. It affects the big boys as well as the little boys.
Yeah.
You've still got to get there. It's still a number of hours.
Oh, and they've got to get back as well. I mean, it was a 10 to 2 fixture, but it takes a lot out on the body.
Yeah.
It is a busy weekend, and thankfully, for the YKK Widnes squad, they bounced back. We'll talk about that in a little minute. However, we're going to have a little word about our under-11s now.
Yep.
Because as we mentioned in the interview with Mikey about the structure of under-11s hockey, it is fixed lines. So when you're playing a team like Whitley Bay, who are well-established, or Manchester, who are very well-established, depending upon, you can set the strengths of your lines, but naturally your line's experience within the Wild Academy, there's a lot less. So you can't, as you would in other games, change your lines around, shrink the bench. You have to continue. And every single one of those kids goes out there every shift and plays their heart out.
Yeah.
Absolutely plays their heart out. So, the 9-1 result is a shame, but they didn't give up. Mm-hmm. Did not give up all the way through.
Well, as Mikey was saying about the best players are red and then orange and yellow, well, who sets that, though?
That's done by the coaching staff. So
well, that's what I mean. You could upgrade, sort of put all your red jackets on the worst team.
Well,
and your best.
You can shift. You can. I'm not sure how they line match, but there's certain rules of conduct within the Jonkers rules as to how you run your lines. So, I mean, unlike in the senior game where somebody decides, they're going to have to put out a third or a fourth, makeshift fourth line for some reason. Could be a lot of penalty minutes. You go, hang on a minute, change the lines up, put the first line out now.
Yeah.
Or you decide they've got their first line out and you go, well, actually, we've got a very physical third line or a makeshift fourth line to go out and play a bit of physical checking hockey here. Their first line's out with their skill and speed. You put out your checkers, and next thing they start getting put into the boards and getting zapped. That's part of adult hockey tactics, but it's not the way I'm not exactly sure on the little intricacies of the under 11s Jonker rules, but they are fixed, so they have to change in order throughout the game. And they didn't stop.
Right.
Absolutely didn't stop. And those of you who follow some of the Wild support base, young Caleb Edelston got his 3rd goal on Saturday night for the under 11s, and another beautiful little finish it was.
And a very proud dad.
Oh, a very, very proud dad indeed. So, Caleb, and it wasn't just Caleb. I mean, the whole team worked together, and a nice finish for the lad. And I have to keep my wits about me when I'm setting up, because on Saturday night, there I am just checking things in the sin bin, setting up all the equipment, and next thing I get this. He makes me jump out of my skin, completely zoned out, setting everything. I was like, little swine, you. And I was like, save it for on the ice.
And he's got a little inflatable bear, wasn't it, or something off you?
But, some of those kids, they're all fantastic. They just go out and just play and play and play. In terms of from the under 11s, I'd say 2 players of the weekend for me were actually Kai Vernett Showers and Alexandra Veyeshi, because they played for the 11s and the 13s, and they did not stop all night. Didn't matter which team they played for, they were giving it absolutely everything. Positioning was brilliant, their movement was brilliant, and just fabulous seeing them out on the ice. Those
Long
two.
may it rain and couldn't end up playing for us high levels.
I know I'm singling those 2 out this week, but they did have an absolute. They really, really stood out for me this week on the ice, and really put in a top quality performance. But the whole team did. The whole team did. So anyway, we shall have a little break, a little bit of music, and we'll come back and talk a little more about the YKK Widnes Wild's events of the weekend.
Yes, let's do that.
In the meantime, they did get carried over to Hull, so hopefully they did ride the wild wind like Queen. And time to look into our usual little reminder of everything social media before we go into our fixtures. Of course, if you want to find out everything about your YKK Widnes Wild, the website is widneswild.co.uk. Your social media outlets are Facebook or twitter.com/widneswild for the club, or TTGW Radio if you want the radio show. We also have our Instagram page, which is instagram.com/widneswildofficial, and youtube.com/widneswild ice hockey club. And these podcasts are carried on the YouTube page and our Podbean page, which is ttgwradio.podbean.com. And thank you to the people who've been starting to subscribe to our Podbean account. We hope you've been managing to get the podcasts in a nice, happy and orderly manner. And of course, if you want any other information, particularly things like own and loan shirts, check out the fan pages of widneswild.co.uk. And I think there's still a couple available. Send your inquiries through the page. And the game-worn home and away shirts are £80. The warm-up shirts are £60. And of course, our very valued sponsors, as a big thank you as ever to our headline sponsor, YKK, our penalty box sponsor, excuse me, of the Sepsis Trust, and of course our other sponsors who are just as important: Sprakes & Son of Widnes, DMH Tyres, CL Woodworking, Blast and Paint Stripping, Bespoke Conversions, and our charity, Stick and Step. Andy, what's coming up in the fixtures?
Well, we've got a long list for you, so get your pens and paper ready. Saturday, the 8th of February, Bradford under 11s entertain Widnes under 11s and face off at 16:10. Sunday, the 9th of February, it's Widnes Wild versus Telford Tigers and face off at the normal time of 5:30. Saturday, the 15th of February, Billingham under 13s versus Widnes under 13s, face off at 17:30. And Saturday the 15th as well, Nottingham under 18s versus Widnes under 18s, and that's a 17:40 face off. Sunday the 16th of February, Kingston under 11s versus Widnes under 11s, 12:45. And Sunday the 16th of February, Widnes Wild Women versus Grimsby Wolves, 17:30. The time for that one. Saturday the 22nd of February, D-side under 15s versus Widnes under 15s, and that's at 18:30. And also Bradford Bulldogs and Widnes Wild at 16:45, and that's at Bradford, obviously. The first one's always the home team. Under 9s, this is Sunday 23rd, under 19s, there's cross-ice competition in Bradford. Face-off is 1700. Followed by, on Sunday the 23rd, Widnes Wild. They're playing Bradford Bulldogs. That's going to be a cracker, that one, at 17:30. again in Widnes. Saturday, 29th of February. We're going to get these every 4 years, remember. Widnes Under-11s versus Bradford Under-11s at 6:15. And Blackburn Hawks, Division 2, versus Widnes Wild at 17:45. So watch out for that one. Sunday the 1st of March, Widnes Wild women are in action again against the Telford Wrekin Raiders, 17:30. And the 1st of March also, Hull Jets entertain the Widnes Wild and face off at 17:45. And that completes the lineup. Thank you.
Yes, a very busy month's worth of fixtures coming for all of your Widnes teams. So also, if there's any changes, do keep an eye out and check Fixtures Live or eiha.co.uk and click on the appropriate links there to make sure that you check all the fixtures, because occasionally they do change. I actually had in my phone, I hadn't actually updated my fixture list for the weekend just gone, so I still had a 13s game, and I'd announced on the Monday beforehand that we had 11s and 13s, and I've kept having to remember to update my phone. So remember, all fixtures are still subject to change.
Yeah, and we can't be held responsible if they are.
No, we cannot. No.
So if you miss it because it was changed, it's not our fault for me reading them out tonight.
However, we are very grateful to our listener who has occasionally give us a call, give us a text or whatever to let us know we'd actually got a face-off time wrong, because we gave some people a mini cardiac arrest last year because we got, I think it was a Sheffield face-off. We said it was late and it was actually earlier than we'd announced, and there were emergency messages getting fired through. From
it's a long way to go, isn't it? And miss it or get there too early.
Yeah, because some people were double checking that we got it
or we
right
stop
or
at
wrong.
Meadow Hall and do a bit of shopping.
Ah, good old Meadow Hall. Yes. But, other shopping outlets are available.
Oh, yeah, definitely. not in Sheffield.
Yeah. I'm just going to find a link to an event that's happening this Saturday at the Imperial in Widnes. And it is an event organised by one of our ever faithful Wild fans, Kelly Barnes. It is a coffee and conversation afternoon, and it's all about Time to Talk Day, and that takes place between 12 and 3 this Saturday at the Imperial in Widnes. So Kelly's been a big fan of the Wild since day one, pretty much. So the whole Time to Talk and mental health issues have been a massive thing. There's been a lot of it going around different sports. Ice hockey's been one of those sports that have put a big push together for that kind of event and awareness. And it is a very, very important thing that we all remember. It's not a bad thing to be able to find somebody if you're having problems and just having a little chat.
It's a stigma of doing that, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is a problem. It's not finding somebody, it's going up to them and asking them. Yeah.
And I can put my hand on my heart and say this: do not be afraid to talk.
Yeah.
It is worth it. It is so worth it to be able to talk.
Because when you talk to yourself, I know it sounds a bit flippant, it sends you in a spiral down.
Yes.
You just get negativity. But if you speak to somebody outside of yourself, then you'll start to see things different.
Yeah. It can just... If you've ever watched Red Dwarf, and you remember there's an episode where Crichton's head explodes, and it's because his Nega Drive is full, and he's very angry and he can't empty his Nega Drive. That is the sort of thing it does. It empties your personal Nega Drive, and sometimes it just works. It just does it. It's just that little something. So, like I say, Kelly's got the Coffee and Conversations afternoon at the Imperial in Widnes from 12 till 3 this Saturday. So it's all part of the whole Time to Talk Day. It's connected to the Time to Talk Day, which is on the 6th of this month. Well, crumbs, time is flying past. We better talk about the weekend for the YKK Widnes Wild now.
I wasn't at the Saturday's game, unfortunately.
I will say massive congratulations to the Hull Jets.
Yes.
You've I got a message off Andy Daintith on Sunday wondering where I was, and I've been busy with looking after things with the junior fixtures. And I said, as far as many people are now concerned, the Hull Jets are very much in the driving seat, as the Wild were last year.
Yes.
And when you look at the table, that result on Saturday really put gave the decent cushion to the Hull Jets in terms of where they sit in terms of potential maxima. They've got about 6-point cushion now in terms of potential maximum points.
And that's 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, there's still plenty of games to play.
There is, and there's got 3 games to play against Widnes Wild, so get behind your team.
Definitely. I mean, the noise, particularly in that third period last night.
Superb.
I thought the swingometer was going to break.
Yeah, the D-side supporters, God bless them, they were giving it a chip as well, so it makes for a better game.
It was fantastic. It was lovely hearing that, D-side decide, it's time for us, banging the drum, shouting, horns going. So Widnes go, okay, let's crank it up a level.
Handjacking ours a lot.
And then D-side are like, okay, we're cranking it up a bit more.
Yeah.
Widnes, crank it up a bit more. And D-side, crank it up a bit more. And that is what works. That's what the players love. They absolutely love it. It just ups the ante, it ups the game. And the intensity last night, well, it was
quite intense in the box as well.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, the game started 2-0 up. Thought, oh, hang on, this is okay. And then, bang, bang, bang.
Yes. What about the goal that was disallowed, Colin?
Right, a couple of people asked me a question about the disallowed goal, or the goal that it didn't seem to get overly celebrated either.
That's because it never went in. Do you know it?
As far as I can say, I've rewatched the video, and unfortunately, from my perspective, the autofocus let me down a little bit because I'm pulling in, focusing in, because you see the shot come, you try and get it a nice good shot to make sure you can be nicely reviewed and looked at. And unfortunately, as the puck, I suppose, would be in the position of hitting the crossbar or crossing the goal line, it's not in focus, so I can't actually see the puck. So the pitch is actually blurred around those frames. But when the puck lands, as far as my angle shows on the video, it lands in blue paint. So it lands in front of the goal.
No goal.
So depending upon where you stood, some people may have said it did cross the goal line and bounce out. I cannot confirm nor deny that from the video. But where the puck lands on the ice, it lands in blue paint. So,
it's not bouncing out then, is it? It hasn't gone in.
Well, I mean, I've seen it come in and hit the centre bar. It's been that fast. It's gone in, hit the centre bar behind the goal, at the back of the goal, the height at the top, and then the cross member that goes between the crossbar and the back of the goal. It pinged off that and dropped out. But the way it's hit, it isn't even made a sound, so it doesn't lift the net. And it could have been that it hit that, but the angle from the video cannot confirm. So, but D-side, that didn't cause D-side's head to drop. They kept going, and end of the first period, it was 3-3. And we're like going, we've really got a game on here.
Again.
And again, at the end of the second period, it was all square, 4-4. Yeah. And it's like, we've got a game on here. And even the penalty minutes were fairly even throughout the whole game. I mean, Widnes took a few extras, 14 minutes to 8. And the shots on goal, 43-42.
Yep. And Bez Hughes wanted to get his name mentioned quite a few times, didn't he? Because he shortly after he went to goal, he went straight into the bin.
Yes, young Berrin. Lovely little tip in, positioned very nicely just to get that. Right place, right time. Nice little deflection.
Yep.
But Samantha Bolwell had a fantastic game for the D-side Dragons.
And what about that Novak goal? Oof. That was a cracker.
Mind you, I had to say to Danny Hyde, or Hyde. Sorry, Dan.
Hyde.
Dan Hyde.
I'm a German-speaking fella, Danny.
Yeah, about him falling on the floor. He was kind of getting up. He'd sort of gone down onto his knee for a low shot, and then as he's taking the shot, he's falling over at the same time. Yeah. So, all being well,
that would have been a good one.
That's nicely on the highlights, that one. Yeah. They're pretty, those goals. I do like seeing those. There's other saves that I don't like seeing where goaltenders go walkabout, but when it comes to goals, they're the nice, pretty ones. We had a certain former player coach of ours sort of doing the old starfish or angel on the ice sort of routine, because he shot the puck and then sort of landed and he thought, I'll sort of do a bit of a swim on the ice now, or they go skidding into the boards. So, yeah. But yeah, exciting all round last night. Definitely.
Good. It was a good game, good atmosphere as well.
So
that's what you pay your money for.
Yes. Anyway, time for a little bit of the news. And first up in the news, we have coming up on Free Sports. We have some games tomorrow night, 5:40 p.m. on Free Sports. We have Champions Hockey League, which is Mountfield v Frölunda. That's 5:40 on Free Sports. And then on Thursday, GB face Romania at 7:25 p.m. on Free Sports. So, tune in for that, especially because it's GB. So GB facing Romania on Free Sports, 7:25 on Thursday night. We also have had some clarification. I'm just going to make it as a headline, courtesy of viha.co.uk. When I get the page up, they have put a release about the in-house rules regarding unsportsmanlike conduct, especially in light of certain events that have been going on recently regarding unsportsmanlike calls. I'm not going to read anything out about it. Read it for yourselves. It is Rule 168 on sportsmanlike conduct. They've put an extra clarification on their website. And final main bit of news on the first, which was Saturday, a release was given from the Nottingham Ice Hockey Club about them ceasing their videoing and live streaming based on communications between the EIHA and Nottingham. A lot of speculation went around on social media, and a clarification, thankfully, has come from the EIHA as of yesterday, and I will read it. And the statement reads as follows. The EIHA would like to clarify their recent document on the streaming of junior ice hockey, which has been issued to clubs by the association's safeguarding team. The policy only relates to junior leagues and tournament games under the EIHA umbrella. It does not impact NIHL, WNIHL, or games sanctioned by other governing body, e.g. Elite, IHUK, SIH. The policy does not prevent games being filmed for internal player training/development, player safety, discipline, or officials training/development. This footage can be shared internally as long as it is not put into the public domain, in brackets, e.g. social media, YouTube, etc. By completing the EIHA's GDPR form as part of their annual registration with the association, parents/guardians/carers and children/young people/adults will have confirmed their consent or limits to consent to the use of their personal data, but this cannot be assumed to be confirmation or consent to live streaming. In practice, where footage of a junior game or tournament will be put into the public domain, Club A would approach Club B 2 weeks before the game with their intention to stream or broadcast Club B, having knowledge of their players' preference at registration, would give their agreement or otherwise. If agreement is given, then the footage can be published/streamed. The policy gives the best practice guide for managing the stream and minimizing risk to children and young people involved. Where agreement is not given, then the footage cannot be streamed or published in any form. The game can still be recorded for internal use, as previously mentioned. The EIHA recognizes the benefit clubs can get from using images of young participants to promote and celebrate activities, events, and competitions. Some coaches also find it helpful to use photographs or videos videos as a tool to support young athletes' skill development. However, the use of photographs and videos on websites and social media and in posters, the press or other publications can pose direct and indirect risks to children and young people if non-managed correctly. And that statement is on the EIHA website for you to read. But I just thought it was worth reiterating in light of recent speculation and chatter on social media. So, a big thank you to everybody at the EIHA for clarifying that for everybody concerned. So,
and it is a safeguarding thing, so it is important.
It is. I mean, the number of times that, from my own perspective as a videographer, opposition clubs get copies of games, especially within the women's game where a lot of the games aren't filmed. We've had the opposition coaches have asked me, can we have a copy of the games? Certainly. And I said, because they don't get it at their home rink or most other rinks. And because I've been available to do it, I've been, I've done it, and it gets really welcomed. And again, for within for the officials as well, there's been times where there's been an unusual call, and one of the referees has asked either for a segment or a copy of the whole game. We can do the downloads now, and they've used it as part of training. Sometimes it's been a case of they've used the piece of footage to put as part of a training camp, put it up on the screen with a group of referees, watch it. What call would watch it. What call do you give?
Yeah.
And they've used it as for what if scenarios, and did I make the right call? And it is to benefit absolutely everybody in the end. And it's to protect people as well, because you don't want people getting hurt.
No.
Especially within the EIHA leagues, people go to work, they go to college, they go to school, they go to run businesses. Yeah. That's not their life.
You don't get paid for getting injured.
No. So anyway, we just wanted to clarify that statement from the EIHA, which is fantastic. It's great, and hopefully everybody now we can put the subject sensibly to bed and move forwards. Which brings us to this coming weekend. Another busy weekend ahead. And yes, Telford Tigers D2 at home. Only the one game for the Wild Men's team.
Mm-hmm.
And our under-11s in action in Bradford.
And we've got a weekend off after, haven't we? We
have. I mean, I'll mention about the under-13s game. It was a little tight to start off with against Blackburn, but then things started to pull out and move forward, and the team really upped the ante and kept going and didn't tire.
What are the crowds like?
They're good. It's good. Yeah. I mean, like I say, come down and see come down, look at the kids' games. They're really, really good, very competitive, and if there's noise and extra support, they feed off it as well. It makes them better. It genuinely makes them better. Something just perks up, and off they go. It's the same for any of the teams, and it really does. I mean, last night was the prime example. That extra lift, hopefully, was what got the win for the Wild, and
fourth line.
That's what they need. Yeah, fourth or fifth line, depending upon how many lines you've got. And as we say each week, be loud and proud for your team wherever you are. Yeah.
Whatever happens to them, it's your team.
Yeah, your cheers look after them.
Yeah.
And also, a quick shout out to the Leeds Chiefs. Finally got home ice.
Yes, on Friday.
It wasn't the result they were after, but finally got their home sorted, and hopefully they can move from strength to strength now that the Elland Road rink is open.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed anything different about our goal lights, but there was something different about them, but I'm not going to say why.
Well, anything can happen in this world. It's ice hockey after all. But well done to everybody at Planet Ice Widnes for taking care and making sure everything was still working nicely for Sunday's game. Paul did a sterling job of making sure we had goal lights available. It was inventive, but it worked.
Yes, of course it was.
Very inventive, and it did work out. So, wherever you are, we're almost out of time. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, enjoy your hockey. Like I say, get yourselves down to Planet Ice Widnes this Sunday, because there isn't a game on Saturday, but as I said, if you're at a spare point or you're out and about in Widnes on Saturday, pop into the Imperial between 12 and 3 for the Coffee and Conversations afternoon as part of Time to Talk. It should be a very good event. There's raffles and all kinds of stuff going on for that. Yeah. So, it's a very good, very important event. And again, it is ice hockey related. And it's all sports.
And thanks for doing it, Kelly.
Yes, big thank you. In the meantime, Andy, your thoughts looking forward?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. We've got some big games coming up and some interesting double headers. But yeah, I'm enjoying the season.
It's definitely having its thrills and spills for sure this year.
It is. It's gone, from ups, downs when we were playing in the Cup, and then we sort of picked ourselves up again, and then we've had a couple of bad defeats recently. But I'm supporting them. That's it.
Yeah. It's... there's a wild badge on my chest every time I'm in there, almost. And,
you've got to take your defeats with the wins. It's all well and good, when you win, but when you start losing, all the fans start getting bickery and things like that, and wasting money you're not going to pay to get in. And
nah, it doesn't work like that. The best thing to do, don't bicker. Shout more for your team.
Yep, support the team, all of it, even the volunteers.
Yeah. It does. Put your energy into the positive side, and it actually does pay off.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of that. Time for us to sign off for another week. We're going to have something a little different to play out, but live, enjoy, and don't stop moving, because hopefully the Wild aren't going to stop moving
up the table.
They're going to continue moving up the table.
Yeah. God bless you all. Thank you very much for listening.
And from me, for another week, take care of yourselves. Wherever you're watching your hockey, have a good time. Enjoy it. I'll catch you on Thursday night from 9 with the Box of Delights, and back next Monday with more Time to Go Wild Radio from 7. Till then, good night.